How's it going, guys? My name is DJP, and welcome back to another NBA 2K23 MyNBA career re-simulation. So, I had this idea to do a player. This is a player that a lot of people say could have been the greatest of all time. If you guys haven't looked at the title of the video or seen the thumbnail, think of someone that, comes to the top of your head. Who would that be? Who could have been the greatest player of all time? Well, a lot of people consider him the most dominant big man of all time. That would be Shaquille O'Neal. So we're going to be redoing his career and see if maybe we can be the greatest of all time with Shaquille O'Neal. So, we're getting on the gameplay. Before we do, leave a like and subscribe. Comment down from the video. Go to socials, playlist, second channel, main channel, down in the description if you like the content be DJP. So, it should be an interesting one. Let's get on to the gameplay. Shaquille O'Neal, career re-simulation. Alright, so every journey starts off at the draft lottery, and as you can see, the Pacers have the best odds, #1 pick, but there's a lot of different teams here with different odds. So we'll see if maybe Shaquille O'Neal will end up in Indiana, maybe he'll end up with a different team. Moment of truth, we're not going to watch the entire lottery. So here we go. It is going to be the Sixers that get the #1 pick. So Shaquille O'Neal is going to be, unless somehow they don't pick him #1, will be a Philadelphia 76ers, which is perfect because we're already on the Sixers. So it's great. We have every team selected. Not that it really matters, but yeah. So we're going to go to the draft and see if Shaquille O'Neal gets drafted #1 overall. And here we go. With the first pick, the Sixers take, not a surprise, Shaquille O'Neal. So he'll be joining the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, this is a good pick for them. Alonzo Mourning goes to the Pacers. LaFonso Ellis goes to the Bucks, and I don't think we need to watch anything else. Christian Laettner, #4. I guess we'll watch #5. Tom Gugliotta goes to the Magic. Okay, we'll sim to the end, and that is all she wrote. So again, Shaq, we're gonna be focusing, I guess, on the Sixers for now. Coming in as a 20-year-old, 84 overall player. We'll see what the rest of the team looks like after free agency, and see what Shaq's working with. So kind of just looking at the rest of the team, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, they got Hershey Hawkins, 25 years old, 86. He's locked up, or not really locked up, but they got Shaq. Manute Bol is here. He's another young guy. 5th pick, 5th rounder, 4th pick, the 1983 draft. They also have Jason Williams, Kenny Payne. So pretty interesting stuff. Relatively young team. Yeah, Shaq's going to be eventually the best player on this team by the end of the season. Hershey Hawkins, decent player, but, obviously this is Shaq's team now. So we'll see how the Sixers do in the first season. I imagine Shaq will be a Rookie of the Year, but unless, he gets hurt, which hopefully he doesn't, because injuries are on, in case you guys didn't know. All right, well, after the first season, unfortunately, Shaquille O'Neal did not make playoffs in his first season, but did win Rookie of the Year, averaging 25 and 10. So that's pretty good numbers there. Less than assists per game, 1.4 steals, 2.1 blocks. So the pretty solid field goal efficiency, 57. But yeah, the free throw shooting not really good at all. So that's going to be interesting. He played all 82 games, so he did stay healthy. Just unfortunately, not a lot of help on his team. But maybe they'll remedy that. Obviously, knowing that they have a generational talent. Did he make it all? He made only a second team as well as a rookie, which is pretty impressive in itself, and I'm sure he was an all-star. He was an all-star as well, and he's going to be first-team all-rookie, which is pretty darn cool. He didn't make an all-defensive team, though. Yeah, it's going to be hard to make it over Ewing and Olajuwon. So maybe he'll make one, because the game's the game. 2K might let him make one. We'll see. But, of course, we didn't make playoffs. We're just going to simulate it. Maybe we'll add another young guy to the team. Maybe they could sign somebody in free agency to add to help out Shaq. As the Pistons beat the Lakers in the finals. Isaiah Thomas Finals MVP. Alright, so I didn't show you guys the second season. We missed the playoffs again. Shaq had another good season. So we'll show you guys right here, because I'm sure he's going to be on All-NBA first team. Yep, he is. Last season was All-NBA second team. This year, All-NBA first team. And you can see the efficiency went up. Free throw shooting went up. Everything went up here. And then again, here, another good season. And did a good job. I mean, the minutes were a little bit down, but he still played really well. And how many games did he play this season? Last year he played 78. This year he played 81. So he's been pretty durable for the most part so far in his career, and he's looking good. Didn't make an all-defensive team, unfortunately, but that's fine. He's still doing his thing out there. He's obviously an all-star. We don't need to look at that. But Philly is a 5th seed this time around. So at least they are in the playoffs. I mean, there's really not much with the team. It's not really that great. I mean, obviously, Hershey Hawkins is pretty solid, but that's about it. Everybody else is kind of just iffy, to say the least. And also, Manute Bol is hurt, so that's, that's another guy you wouldn't mind. But the Pacers do have a pretty solid squad. They have Penny Hardaway, which is kind of cool. So we'll see how they can fare against them. This is a best of 5, so we'll simulate the round here. And the Sixers do advance to the second round, so that's cool. Taking on the number 1 seed Detroit Pistons, they got Mark Price, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman. I guess they don't have Isaiah Thomas. I don't know where he is, but he ain't on the Pistons. So, best of 7 series here in the second round. Let's see if Philly can pull it off the upset, and they do. And they're going to be in the conference finals, take on the Miami Heat, who've got Steve Smith, Glenn Rice, Bimbo Coles, who I've seen go off in some of these sims. Sometimes they also have David Robinson. That's a tough matchup. For Shaq, the Admiral, one of his idols. So we'll see how they could do here. Maybe get to the finals. And Philly is in the finals to take on the Utah Jazz, who've got Eric Murdoch. They got John Stockton and shooting guard Karl Malone. So Stockton and Malone. And Jason Kidd coming off the bench. Wow, that's actually a really good team. That is a really good team. Okay, that's a really good team. Stockton, Kidd, and Karl Malone. That's a good team. Okay. Well, we'll see how Shaq and the Sixers can do. Game 1, Sixers versus Jazz. The Jazz take the victory, blow us out. Game 2 is a Jazz victory, and I can see this being a sweep in favor of the Jazz, and we'll be lucky if we get a game. Okay, we got a game. Got game 4 by 4 points, but, we win game 5 by 3. Okay, there's some hope. Make it a series. We're going to game 7. Shaquille freaking O'Neal. How's he doing so far in the playoffs? He's doing really well. He's trying his best. So let's see. Game 7. Do or die. Can we do a reverse sweep? Be the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-0 lead. Let's see. We're at home, so we have a chance. Not a good first quarter. We need to have a good second quarter. Pretty solid second quarter. A really good third. And the Sixers win the finals after being down 3-0. And Shaq gets his first championship in Philadelphia. That is some GOAT status right there. And he put up 43 and 12. So good stuff from him. He even made his free throws. And shout out to Hershey Hawkins. 26 points for him. Little dynamic duo. Shaq and Hawkins. Nice. And Shaquille O'Neal, finals MVP. So add that to the resume. Didn't have to even leave for LA. He sticked it out in Philly and got the job done. I mean, now if he wants to leave, he could leave, but he couldn't win with the Magic. He left the Magic, then went to the Lakers, had to wait for a bit, and then he finally got his chip. So shout out to Shaq getting it here. Cool stuff. So let's see just overall in the playoffs. If we look at the playoff statistics, as we can see, also Hershey Hawkins was really good. Sarunas was not too bad as well. But obviously Shaq's the main focus. 26.7, 11.11 rebounds. And played great defense. So good for stuff from him. So Shaq doing his thing out there. Good for him. And also, wow, 50, 40, 90 for Hershey Hawkins. Great partner in crime. He stepped up his game in the postseason. All right, and Shaquille O'Neal wins his first MVP in his 4th season. 30.2 points, 14.4 rebounds. Over a steal, nearly 3 blocks a game, and very good efficiency. Shot 62.4 from the field, and even improved his free throw, 55.5% from the line. What a season from Shaquille O'Neal, and he played his most minutes by far, and excellent season from him. Scoring the ball, rebounding the ball. He played all 82 games as well. He hit 73 double-doubles. That's crazy. So great stuff there from Shaq, who also gets a Defensive Player of the Year, which I don't think he ever won in his career. So, Shaq was an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. So, shout out to Shaq. Of course, he's going to be on the All-NBA first team. And by the way, just so you guys know, we're going to take a look at the team. Well, there you can see, Scottie Pippen is also on this team now. So, it is a bit of a super team a little bit in Philly. They got a little big three. And, well, not a little big three. A big three, so to speak, with Shaq, Scottie, and Hershey Hawkins. So that's going to be insane. I'm loving that for the postseason. We got to take on the Knicks in the first round. I mean, their best player right now is Mark Jackson. So Patrick Ewing's hurt. Should be able to beat them, but knowing this game, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. And, well, they did take a game on us, and they took 2 games on us, but we beat them in 5. So they almost beat us, but we got past them. Now I got to take on the Hawks, who are the 3 seed. Dominique Wilkins is an 82 overall. He's getting up there in age. They got Kevin Willis, Purvis Elson, Jalen Rose. Okay, let's see if they can beat them. And they will in 6 to take on the Charlotte Hornets in the Eastern Conference Finals. D. Brown, Kendall Gill, Larry Johnson. This team did win a championship. They won it in Shaq's second season. So we'll see. Maybe they can get back there if we could beat them. We will be beating them in 5 to rematch the Utah Jazz, who have, obviously, Jason Kidd, John Stockton, and Karl Malone. That is a very good team. They got a big 3 as well. So this is a good rivalry right here. Good matchup. Utah versus Sixers, Game 1. The Jazz beat us by 2. Game 2, we take a victory by 2 points. Game 3, we beat them by 4. Game 4, we beat them by 9. And Game 5, we beat them by 5. What a rivalry this is. That is a rivalry brewing indeed. As the Sixers win their second straight finals, and Shaquille O'Neal with another Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and Finals MVP in the same season. He's off to a great start to his career. Hopefully he stays at Philly. He's an expiring, but I would assume he's going to re-sign. And so Shaq ended up re-signing. He's up to a 96 overall, 24 years old. He signed for 3 years. It wasn't a lot of years, but he's staying around for another 3 seasons. Scottie Pippen and Hershey Hawkins are only around for 2 more. So, maybe he's kind of timing it to where, okay, 2 years left of these guys, and if they don't stay, and there's 1 more year left, then I'm out. So, fair play to him. Shaq doing his thing out there, and let's see if they can maybe win another championship. They have a really good team, so wouldn't be surprising. MVP for Shaquille O'Neal, 29.2 points, 14.1 rebounds. Another excellent season from Shaq as he wins his second MVP. 82 games played, 72 double-doubles. What a season from Shaquille O'Neal. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year? What is that? Oh, Alvin Bolts. Yep, second straight Defensive Player of the Year for Shaq. So, yeah, he's putting up some meaty numbers. Obviously, he'll be a first team, All-NBA first team, and All-Defensive first team. We don't really need to look at that, but we just did. So, a number 1 seed, which is cool. We got to take on the Celtics, who have Reggie Lewis, Stojakovic. They got Daniel Marshall. They still got Kevin McHale coming off the bench. No Larry Bird, though, the greatest player of all time, a.k.a. in the simulation, because he puts up some godly numbers. Him and Kevin Garnett. But yeah, Shaq and the boys are looking to beat the Celtics, and can they do it? They will, not sweep them. They beat them in 4. So we're going to take on the Bucks. The Bucks, Billy Martin, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Joe Smith, Bonds Velez, Sean Bradley, Rick Smits, Terry Cummings. Decent team, but again, the Sixers should be able to beat them, and they swept them in the conference finals once again. And look who it is, Charlotte. Another matchup against Charlotte. I mean, you're pretty familiar with their team. It's mostly the same. Looks like Del Curry is starting now. D. Brown is hurt. They got Muggsy as well. Looks like he was hurt. I don't know. But let's see if we can beat them and get back to the finals. And what do you know? We are back trying to three-peat against the Supersonics. So the Jazz are not here, which is kind of crazy. But here we go. We got the Supersonics with Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Brad Daugherty, Ricky Pierce. Okay, so they got an interesting squad. Let's see if the Sixers can beat them. Game 1, the Sonics win by 9. Game 2, the Sixers win by 16. Game 3, the Sonics win by 9. Game 4, the Sixers win again. Game 5, the Sixers win in a blowout fashion. And the Sixers have three-peated. 6 games. Shaq, Finals MVP once again. 3-time champion, 3-time Finals MVP. He's killing it right now. If we look at the playoffs, here are the playoff statistics. Again, I mean, I don't think I showed you guys this last season, but here I'm showing you again. The boys, and yeah, Shaq put up 28.7 points, 12.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.7 blocks, and doing his thing out there. Not great free throw shooting, but you know what? If you're going to dominate like you do dominate, Shaq, just keep doing your thing. You're looking great so far. Let's see if you can keep it up. Another MVP season from Shaq. Not quite the numbers that he had Past few seasons, 25.5 points, 11.3 rebounds. Still really good. Even made a 3 this season, so that's cool. So far, looking great. Numbers dipped, minutes dipped a little bit, but still doing his thing out there. He's played 6 seasons. He scored 13,565 points. He's doing his good job on rebounds, block shots. He did play all 82 games, 55 double-doubles this season. Again, MVP, so we'll take it. And if we just take a quick glance at his stats so far, his accolades, 3-time MVP, 3-time NBA champion, 6-time All-Star, first team All-NBA 4 times, second team All-NBA once, third team All-NBA once. And I would imagine he was, he wasn't defensive player, he was actually Alonzo Mourning, so shout out to him. But he has been a defensive player twice, so there's that, but not this season. That streak ended there. But maybe defensive, say he made a second team, so that's cool as well. He made some first teams, made second team. So good stuff there from Shaquille O'Neal. And once again, his team is the number 1 seed. They had a really good record, so one of the best teams in the NBA, 65-17, I believe that they were. And yeah, the team's looking good. Fortunately, Hershey Hawkins is hurt right now, but we'll see if we should be able to beat the Hornets. They look a little bit weaker this season, as they are an 8 seed this time around, but you never know with the game, as we beat them in 5. Okay, so we ended up beating them. Got the Hawks here. Hershey Hawkins is back in the lineup on the Hawks. They have Jerry Stackhouse, Jalen Rose, Kevin Willis, David Robinson's there. Pretty good team, honestly. But let's see if we can beat them. And we get smoked in the second round, swept. So our streak of 3 in a row ended in a little bit of a sour way, but it happens. And, maybe it just wasn't our year this year. Shaq, not bad in the playoffs. Could have been a little bit better, though, but that's all right. A great run. We'll see what ends up happening with the team, because you never know. Pistons win the finals. Larry Johnson, finals MVP. But let's see if, hopefully, he's got some people around. He's got one more season left coming up. So maybe Pippen and Hershey Hawkins will stay. If they don't, maybe they'll sign somebody else to pair up Shaq with. We shall see. All right, so the streak of MVPs has ended for Shaq. Also, shout out to Pippen. He got Defensive Player of the Year. But he was all-NBA first team. 26.4 points, 11.2 rounds. And once again, shooting a little bit more threes this season. I guess he shot 1 of 8. Another good season. I mean, I can't complain about the way he played. So he's putting up some great numbers so far in his career. He scored over 15,000 points so far. He's grabbed nearly 7,000 rebounds. And he's been relatively healthy throughout his entire career. Well, played 78 games this year. Missed four games this year, but that's fine. Not a problem there. Was he a defensive second team? He was. Fortunately, they did lose Hershey Hawkins, and because of that, they dipped in the standings at 6th. But Scottie Pippen did re-sign. But we'll see what Shaq ends up doing here in the first round. Got Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan on the Nets. Interesting. And they have Kevin Garnett as well. That's a little concerning because Kevin Garnett is Kevin Garnett in the sim. So we'll see if they can win. Nope, they get swept. So there you go. Could that be it from Shaq in Philly? I mean, he did his job. He won a championship. He won some championships, MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years. We'll see. He was dominant in the playoffs. I'll tell you that much. He might decide to leave. So we'll see. As it is going to be the Clippers beating the Nets in the finals. Nick Van Exel winning Finals MVP. Wow, beating Kevin Garnett and Michael Jordan. Okay, I don't care that Shaq left, but I saw this name, Dick Ryder. That is the greatest name I've ever seen in any. It's such a great name, Dick Ryder. Wow. I don't know where Shaq went. Let's see. Shaq is on the. I'm just going to be surprised. Shaquille O'Neal went to Nuggets. I was literally just thinking of the Nuggets. And I was thinking maybe Kobe's on that team. But he's not. But he's with Tracy McGrady. That's interesting. So, Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy McGrady. They got this guy Mitchell Frazier. Dikembe Mutombo's still there. Antoine Jameson's 23 years old. So D. Brown, Corey Maggette, young guy. Craig Geiger, 17 years old. Maybe he could be something off the bench. They've got Mike Conley's uncle. So there's that. Or dad. It could be, well, actually, probably uncle. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, uncle. So, cool. So, yeah, I guess we'll be paying attention to the Nuggets now. I had a feeling he was going to go to Denver. I was thinking that in my head. I don't know why. I literally was looking at my phone. I was thinking, he's going to go to Denver. So, yeah, 3-year deal. Let's pay attention to Denver now. His new team, he is a all-NBA first-team performer. 21.4 points, 10 rebounds. So scoring went down a bit. I don't know why, but it did. I guess with Tracy McGrady. And he only played he played less than 30 minutes a game. Those minutes dipped as well. I guess they're preserving him for the playoffs, potentially. So that's an interesting way of thinking. He did play 80 games this year. Yeah, they were very conservative with his minutes. But I guess when you have Tracy McGrady, it's helpful. Kobe's on the Lakers. Nice. Except he was the number 2 overall pick this time. So Kobe is on the Lakers. Tracy McGrady was all-NBA third team. So his teammates there. And they were both all defensive second team. Tracy McGrady and Shaq. So yeah, number 1 seed Denver taking on the Spurs. Moncrief, West, Sean Elliott, Vin Baker, Robert Horry. Yeah, they should be able to beat this team. Let's see. Moment of truth. And Denver will lose. Because that makes sense. Okay. Well, Tracy McGrady got hurt, so that actually does make sense. 24 points, 10.8 rebounds. Not too bad in the playoffs, but yeah, I guess losing Tracy McGrady kind of sucks. I don't know how many games he played. But he wasn't doing that great from 3. Yeah, he played 2 games, so a little bit tough there, unfortunately. And Corey Maggette, I mean, he'll progress, but so will Tracy McGrady. But yeah, maybe just a little too young. Maybe next season will be the year. So let's see who ends up winning the finals. It's going to be the Mavericks. Steve Nash. All right, I wanted to simulate to the conference finals. That's where we are. I didn't show you guys really much. But Shaq had another solid season. I mean, the numbers in the regular season kind of dipping, but that's fine. Not a problem. As long as he's dominating the playoffs, which he is doing pretty good in the playoffs, so I can't be mad about that. They beat the Clippers in 7, who, obviously they were a championship team at some point in this video. Of course, they beat the Rockets as well in the first round against Stephon Marbury. But now you're going to take on the MVP, Kobe Bryant, who is putting up some ridiculous numbers, both in the regular season and in the playoffs. Keith Van Horn is there as well. But outside of that, the team isn't really that great, so we'll see if maybe they can get back to the finals, or Shaq can get back to the finals with his new team. Game 1, Lakers win. Game 2, Lakers win, and it's probably going to be a sweep, and the Nuggets are going to get swept. No, they don't. They win Game 4. They win Game 5. They win Game 6. Okay, they're making a little comeback here. Of course, they don't have Tracy McGrady, who's hurt, which is unfortunate, because if they had Tracy McGrady, this would be definitely an easier series for them instead of Stacey Augmon, because Corey Maggette's without development, Andrew Jameson's still here. So yeah, Game 7, Simcast here is to get to the finals. Let's see if the Nuggets or the Lakers will win. We are on the road, and the Lakers are off to a good start. Nuggets trying to fight back here in the third quarter, but it looks like the Lakers are going to pull away as they win in every single quarter, and they beat us by 16. So Lakers, Hawks, finals, and Hawks just sweep the Lakers. Jerry Stackhouse, finals MVP. Let's just see how Shaq did in the playoffs. I mean, 22.1 points. I mean, not too bad. He's got one more season in Denver. We'll see what he decides to do after that. Maybe he'll go somewhere else. Who knows? Didn't bother to show you guys last season because Shaq ended up getting hurt. I mean, missed the entire playoffs. So that's fine, not a problem. Let's see if he decided to stay in Denver. He did not. He left Denver, young and upcoming team, and went to a different team. What team did he go to? Shaquille O'Neal went to... Let's find out. He is on... I don't know. What team? Looking. And Pacers. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you go to the Pacers? LaFrance Posey, Willie Bird, Michael Redd, Yeah, I don't see why he would have went here. That's a very dumb decision. But I mean, it's fine because like he's already kind of done what he needed to do. I mean, I guess maybe here he can get back on track with his numbers. I mean, he's only put up 19.1 points this past season, so maybe here he could be the clear-cut number one option for the next few seasons and kind of stat pad a little bit. I mean, he scored over 20,000 points, so you know, I don't know why he's played so little amount of time. I mean, granted, this year he was hurt a little bit. So hopefully this year he can still kind of stay healthy and get back on track to being the dominant Shaquille O'Neal that he is. Well, first season in Indiana, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were only a 7 seed. Shaq is back on All-NBA second team at least, and they did put up 24.7 points, 11 rebounds. So the numbers are going up back again, which is cool. But team wasn't as great as you'd think it would be. I mean, the minutes still around 29.7, which is a little low for my taste. I would think he would get a little bit more. But he only played 68 games as well, so he definitely missed some time this year. So there's that. But at least he had a little bit more touches with this team. So that's cool. He was all defensive second team as well. I mean, if we take a look at his stats and his accolades, I mean, he's a 3-time MVP, 3-time champion, 11-time All-Star. So he's still doing that. 7-time first team All-NBA, twice on the second, twice on the third. He's been on defensive teams a few times. He's won the Defensive Player of the Year twice. So, I mean, he's obviously had a great career, and it's going to continue to be that way, probably for the next few seasons. So we'll see how he could do. They're in the playoffs, so maybe they have a chance. I mean, it's going to be tough, though, against the Nets. The Nets, of course, having Kevin Garnett, but they don't have Jordan anymore. So it's really just Kevin Garnett, but he does scare me a little bit. Also, look at that. The Knicks. The Westchester Knicks at the G League. Weird. And also would be the D League at this point. Did it even exist in this yet? Or did it not? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Let's see if the Pacers can win. Obviously, there's really not too much besides Shaq. I mean, Michael Redd maybe could be something a little bit, but he won't be until after player progression next season. I guess the rounds are in 7 now. But, yeah, they got completely swept out of the water as Shaq, how did he do in the playoffs? He was very good in the playoffs, dominant, but unfortunately just not enough around him to do anything of note. So there's that. We'll see how they can do next season, maybe to improve the team, maybe get some more pieces. Nets, Kings, finals. Kings win the finals. Kenyon Martin, finals MVP. All right, well, I will say this. We didn't make the playoffs last season. Ironically, I don't know who this guy is, but good for him. Making that. Shaq made All-NBA second team. Last season, he did make All-NBA. He made All-NBA team. Won Defensive Player of the Year as well. This season, the numbers starting to dip again, and I'll show you guys why. But double-double he averaged on the season. So another nice year from him in 28 minutes. The numbers, again, the minutes are dipping. But 2K really loves to give me content. So I played all 82 games. Did start all 82. But, defense first team. And Dwight Howard is on the Pacers, ironically. So somehow, some way, the Pacers got the number 1 overall pick. And in the most content, and I didn't rig it, content-rated fashion, Dwight Howard is on the friggin' Pacers with Shaq. Now, they didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately. The end of the season kind of bad, so that's unfortunate. So that's okay. But, they got a couple seasons left. He's got a couple seasons left in Indiana. We'll see what ends up happening. But I just wanted to show you guys that, so give you a quick little update. So if they do happen to make the playoffs again, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, we'll probably just simulate the rest of his career out in Indiana, and then I'll probably just go somewhere else. Trailblazers versus Bulls. Trailblazers win the finals. Allen Iverson, finals MVP. So the Pacers are an 8 seed now. Shaq looks like he is starting to regress a bit, but they have him starting at the 4, and Dwight at the 5. I guess you could do that in this era still. Bit of a down year for Shaq, but again, still obviously putting up good numbers, I guess, throughout his career. I mean, 28 games. He has scored 27,000 points, so probably get to 30,000, which is a good number. Did play all 82 games, so that's cool to see. I guess he's, obviously splitting time with Dwight. Him and Dwight trying to play together is kind of hilarious. But, yeah, I mean, I guess he can play power forward as a secondary position. Trying to pass the torch, try to teach his ways. And of course, taking on that one-seeded Magic, we've got Gilbert Arenas, who I believe, did they win the finals? Oh, I don't know. He won an MVP, I think. Jonas Haslam is on the Magic, interestingly enough. Grant Hill's there. Tracy McGrady's also there, but he's hurt. We'll see if they can win. I doubt it, but they surprised me by blowing a 3-1 lead. Because I thought they were going to win it, and they didn't. Okay. That's unfortunate. They were up 3-1. Shaq in the playoffs, definitely been better. Seen him do better. Fortunately, didn't do that great. Dwight stepped it up, though. So Dwight's looking like he's ready to take that mantle. But, I mean, you know, Shaq, I don't know how many more. I think he's got maybe one more year left in Indiana, so we'll decide to see if he stays. Tim Duncan and the Bulls won the finals. I don't think he's going to retire. I know that, but we'll double check anyway. Yeah, no, he didn't retire yet, so he's got, I think, one more season in Indiana, and then after that, we'll see if he decides to go to a different team. Oh, I lied. He had one more. That was his last season in Indiana, and he decided to go to the Bulls, who just came off a championship. So instead of Dwight Howard, I guess he didn't like him, he's teaming up with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Manu's also here. So, interesting. Very interesting from Shaq. So he's playing here 2 more seasons. Him, Tim Duncan, and Manu will be free agents at the same time. So, I guess a little bit of a better team, in my opinion. Team that just won the championship, so. Okay, Shaq, we see you. The Bulls are in the playoffs. Manu on the second team with Tim Duncan. Shaq not there, though, which is unfortunate. But the Bulls, 4th seed, taking on the Magic. Is Shaq? Shaq is there. He started. Coming off a season where he averaged 18 and 7. So definitely the numbers are starting to regress a bit from Shaq. But nevertheless, though, he's still doing his thing out there. He's got one more season left. Hopefully, maybe next year, he could hit that 30,000 mark in terms of scoring. I would love to see if he could do that. He did play in all 82 games, so he's been really healthy at least. So that's nice. So shout out to Shaq there for that. And they get to the Magic again, 4th seed. Gilbert and Tracy, dynamic duo for the ages. But that is really all she wrote. Let's see if they could beat this team. And the Bulls do just that to take on the number 1 seeded Bucks. Who've got Jason Kidd and Kevin Garnett and Tyson Chandler. That's a good team. Tony Allen, Sean Stevenson. Manu Bol is still in the league. How old is he? Oh, he's 35. Okay, with 22 years? That's impossible. How's it possible? How could he be 22 years in the NBA? He's 35. So that's glitched because, and it might just be glitched for him. 22 years. Yeah, I think it's just glitched for him. That is crazy because that means he's been in the NBA since he was 13. All right, I guess we'll simulate the round. And, yeah, 13-year-old Manu Bol beat us. Swept us, by the way. I guess Shaq got hurt, which is unfortunate. He's 17 points in the playoffs per game, and he played in 9 games. So he did get hurt, but he got hurt in that last game, I guess. So that's unfortunate. Not sure what he had. The Timberwolves win the finals, and there you go. LeBron James gets his first championship. So that's pretty much going to be a common theme now for this video. MVP, Defense Player LeBron James. Not a surprise. So let's just kind of see what Shaq had. I'm curious. Shaq, broken left leg. That sucks. Alright, so I didn't show you guys, but yeah, Shaq ended up they ended up losing the second round. And you can start to see his numbers are regressing. I mean, he did well in the playoffs, though. But he's close to 30,000. If he plays another season, which he might, we'll see if he decides to. His body started breaking down 75 games. But yeah, he's definitely regressing a bit. So, I mean, maybe he'll play another season or two. We'll see if he decides to stay in Chicago. But ever since he's left Philly, it hasn't been, great for him, honestly. It's kind of dipped. His peak was Philly. So, there's that. I mean, but, we'll see what ends up happening with the Bulls. Magic beat the Timberwolves in the finals, and Tracy McGrady finals MVP. signing for one more season. Tim Duncan's still here, but Manu left the team. It's definitely a worse team than it was last season. So Shaq probably out after this year. This could be his last season. Let's see what he's thinking. He is okay. He might test, so he might still play and maybe sign another contract again. But we'll see. This could be his last season. You never know. Maybe his last season in Chicago. We'll see. We'll see how he does. If they don't make the playoffs, you probably just see me kind of closing out the video because I assume he's going to retire, but you never know. All right, well, Shaq didn't retire and didn't make the playoffs, so looks like he might test free agency, play another season. We'll see if he decides to stay with the Bulls or maybe leave to go somewhere else. So Shaq decided to sign with the Dallas Mavericks, and it's funny. I would have stayed with the Bulls if he could have. Because the Bulls, well, I guess maybe he wouldn't have been able to. Because the Bulls got Kobe. They re-signed Tim Duncan still. They drafted Blake Griffin. So it would have been nice. But unfortunately, he's going to be with Dallas. Amari and Peja. With Shaq, Ricky Davis, Hershey Hawkins Jr. So he played with his dad. Now he's playing with his son. So that's kind of cool. This is James Johnson. Tyler Hansbrough. That's a good one. Oof. Classic. All right, I signed for 2 years. We'll see if he decides to play out these 2 years with Dallas and maybe see what happens with his career. But just to give you guys a quick little update, I mean, he is at he's 15. He's been an All-Star 15 straight years. So I mean, he's still doing his thing out there. He hasn't been an All-NBA team in a while. It looks like since 2005 when he was second team. Probably not gonna get there again. But 3-time champion, 3-time Finals MVP, which is pretty impressive. And with the 3-peat. And if we look at his, I was going to look at his stats here. And you can see, he's still putting up good numbers. Obviously, still good career numbers. And, he did score over 30,000 points. So he might get over 30,000 points. Maybe 15,000 rebounds is in the realm of possibility as well if he could play another 2 seasons. So, we'll see what ends up happening with him. I mean, he's been relatively healthy as well. I missed 7 games last season, 08, but this past season he did play all 82 again, so there's some. All right, Shaquille O'Neal ended up retiring after 18 seasons of being in the league, and here was his career. He had a great career. 22.4 points, 10.4 rebounds for his career. In his last season, he definitely made sense to retire. They didn't make the playoffs, so that's why I didn't show anything. Scored over 32,000 points. Didn't grab 15,000 rebounds, but was close to it. Nice amount of blocks as well. Probably a leader there. Maybe in terms of just gameplay with steals, but I highly doubt it because he's a center. And, first time in his career he didn't start a game. It was literally in his last season. Otherwise, he would have started every single game in his entire career. So fair play to him. Of course, he was, and I accidentally skipped it because I just figured he'd play another season. And he was a Hall of Famer. I mean, we could look. 2010, jersey number 50, which is kind of weird, but 3-time MVP, 15-time All-Star, 3-time Punch Player of the Year, 3-time champ, 3-time Finals MVP, 3 for 3 in the finals. So that's pretty cool. First team All-NBA 7 times, second team All-NBA 4 times, third team All-NBA twice, and first team All-Defense 4 times, 5 times second team. He was Rookie of the Year and Rookie First Team. 3-time Defense Player of the Year. Did I mention that? He never won a Defense Player of the Year in real life. So, I mean, you can make the argument that he was better in the game. He was definitely, you can make the argument. I mean, he had an extra championship in real life. Wasn't a extra Finals MVP. But, also, too, like the longevity, where he put up better numbers later in his career. I mean, also had some, weirdness where, his numbers dipped. So I guess you can make an argument there that it kind of brought down some of his average, but I mean, still was really good. So, I mean, there's that. So let's take a look here. League news, league history. What do we got here in terms of records, where he kind of finished? So, terms of career points, 3rd all time in the NBA. That's pretty impressive at his time of retirement. Field goals made 3rd. He's not going to make 3-pointers. We don't need to look at that. Free throws, he might be up here. Yep, 15th. Rebounds, he is going to be right there. 6th all-time. Assists, he's at 2,000 something. He is not going to be on this list. And blocks, he will be on this list, though. Probably near the top. And, yep, 6th all-time. Steals, he would be on this list. I think in terms of longevity, he's going to be on this list. Yeah, 31st all-time in steals. Minutes, he'll be near the top. And, yep, 13th all-time. Turnovers, wouldn't be shocking if he's up here. Yep, 28th. Points per game, we don't really care about. So, there you go. Shaquille O'Neal's career. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys think his career was better in the game or better in real life. I'm going to say the game was actually better. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I guess with that being said, full screen close the video. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment on some videos, go to socials, play the second channel, main channel, down in the description if you like other content, BTJP. So, with that being said, that is the career re-simulation of Shaquille O'Neal. And again, like I said, I thought he did better in the game than he did in real life. So maybe that means he underperformed? Maybe? Maybe not? Yeah, I guess the game had higher expectations. He didn't meet them. I guess that's how you could look at it. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to head on out, guys. Great career, nevertheless. Hall of Fame both ways. And he's a great guy. So, yeah. All right. Peace.